Hello, Aim High family and students. My name is Sandra Payne, and I am a site director from Aim High. And this summer, I will be a book club teacher and advisory teacher. And we are here today with Leticia to go ahead and give you some information about our summer 2020 Aim High at Home.
Hello, my name is Leticia Dorado. I am a regional program manager at our central office. This summer, I'm very excited to be supporting all our virtual sites throughout the Bay Area. Welcome to Aim High. We are so excited to be launching our 35th summer. Such a big milestone, but we are also being honest that we are dealing with a health pandemic, and we know that we had to shift some things, but we're also very excited to bring you a virtual summer program. We also want to recognize that in the recent weeks, our communities have been facing racial injustices against our Black communities. We know that this is not something new, but we also know and are committed to standing by and standing up for Black students and families. We will continue to do the work necessary to create honest change. And as we move forward this summer, we're committed to providing a safe learning environment for all students. Thank you. As we start this presentation, we want to revisit some of our core values for the summer. This is something that drives all our work and student experiences. Our 4 core values are community, opportunity, respect, and high expectations. And yes, the H is silent. Why is Aim High different? This summer is very different. We'll be having virtual classes. We'll be having a lot of independent activities for our students. But one thing that will not change is that we are committed to making sure to provide a balanced learning experience for students. We'll be focusing a lot on our social emotional learning and wellness and making sure that our students feel prepared as they head into the new school year in the fall. Aim High at Home. This summer, we have developed 3 themes that will lead a lot of the work that we do with our students. Going online was something that we felt we had to do to be able to continue to give students opportunity to be connected with our Aim High community. We'll be using online Zoom classes and a lot of independent work time for students. Along with this, you'll see that our themes for the summer, every week we'll have a focus. Week 1 is about community. Week 2 is about wellness. Week 3 is about connections with students and our community. And week 4 is family love. As we close out our program, our week 5 will focus on celebrating our students and looking ahead as they transition back to school. Now I'll turn over the mic to Sandra.
Thank you. So Aim High at Home. So we're going to give you some information about the program overview. And here are some of the things that we will be doing that's a little bit different than we've had in the past. So for instance, we will be having a student/family facing website, something that we haven't had in the past, that you will be finding a lot of resources. A student schedule will be emailed to families and students. Like Leticia mentioned, there will be a live component where the student will be sitting in front of their device with a teacher. And then there will also be independent work time where the student will be working completely on their own. And also there will be reminder for schedule. So just sending out reminders about when classes start for students. Here is our first component, which is our family-facing website. The website is aimhigh.org/AHAH, and this is something definitely you want to bookmark. I'm going to go ahead and give you a little tour of our Aim High at Home website. So here is the home page, and this is where you're going to find morning circles. Morning circles will be posted here every day so that the student has that same Aim High magic that we had when we were on site. Every morning when we got on site, there was always an activity to get us going, to get us feeling in community. And so this is that space that we will be creating for students. Also, families and students, you will have these tabs here at the bottom for all of your academic classes and activities and advisory. So you will have those there. It will give you the week's theme and what the students will be working on. So this will be really a great resource for everyone. Here on the tabs, you will also have family resource. It's a drop-down menu, and it will give you anything that you may be looking for when it comes to family needs, and also program components. So maybe you're like, oh, I want to see what activities there are that students can do, or what are the afternoon activities. This will all be here on this page. And the next component is our student schedule. So our student schedule will look something like this. So every student will get a schedule for themselves. And you will notice that it is by section. So this will be very important, families, because this will tell you what section your student is in. It is color coded so that everyone knows when live class is happening. So for section A, this student has their first live class at 10 a.m. and the link will be posted there so that the students can go ahead and click on the link and they will start their advisory plus STEAM challenge. Videos on demand will be videos that you can find at the Aim High at Home website, and those would be things, anything that you're looking for will be there, so you can watch them at your best convenient time. And then emails and newsletters, when these will be sent. These will be sent Fridays in the afternoons. You will get a weekly newsletter or emails or communication. This schedule is also nice because it lets students know who their contact information is for their advisor, their STEAM coach, their book club person. And also if there's any tech support. We all know that this time is very different and sometimes there's glitches with technology. So this will also let you know who to go ahead and reach out. And also if you notice, students, you have classes Monday through Thursday only. And Friday is kind of, you get to choose what you like to do for that day. Live class versus independent work time. So kind of mentioned this already. And some students, you've experienced this already, right? Where you're on a live Zoom class with your teacher, the teacher's giving instructions, you're doing some activities together, but then either before you meet for that Zoom class, you either have work to do before class or you have work to do after that class. So this will be the same for Aim High. And the awesome thing about this is that you will be outlined with all this information. So for instance, for book club, there'll be times where you have to read ahead of time before you meet class, or for STEAM, you will be given instructions and then you're kind of working on your project afterwards, right? So families, there will be anywhere from 30 minutes to about an hour or so of homework, not every day, but a couple days. Also, students, you will have your Friday and your weekend. You have your evenings, right? So this kind of gives you the choice to do your independent work time when it's best convenient and works for you and your schedule. Because we do understand that your schedule is very flexible also and different at this time. Schedule reminders. So schedule reminders, this is where we're going to remind people about, hey, this is where you can find the link for the Zoom class. This is what time your advisory starts. We'll also be sharing this information via email for the student through their school email. So please make sure that you are checking your school email. And also we will be sending this to our parents via email as well, so that it's in both places. I'll pass it over to Leticia.
Great, thank you, Sandra. We want to give you guys a little overview on academic classes. Our first class, advisory, will be happening every Monday for 20 minutes. This is probably one of the shortest sessions you'll have, but during this time, students will have the opportunity to connect with their advisor. They'll be able to get general announcements, do a check-in, what activities are you working on this week, and then ask any questions that they need for the week. It's also time where they'll engage in maybe playing a team building game, but it will be happening every Monday. STEAM classes, all our classes will be having project-based learning. So a lot of these classes will have hands-on learning at home. With our STEAM challenge, we are exploring the laws of motion. We're doing a little bit of gardening at home, and our final big project is a school redesign. So look out for those details. You will also be able to reach out to your STEAM teacher if you have any questions, because they'll have kind of like a STEAM team huddle where you'll be able to ask and get more one-on-one individualized time besides your session. Book club. During our book club, we'll be reading short stories. You'll be independently reading those short stories. You'll find them online. We have scanned all our stories for you to be able to read them on your computer, on your Kindle, on your phone, so you'll always have access to them. Then you'll come together and have these discussions around what you've read, and continue to develop critical thinking skills during the summer. We're very excited about all the stories we've chosen. Our issues and choices classes is broken up into three components. So advisory makes it up, which is part one. We have our second part that are community circles, where we'll come together and have conversations around SEL topics that are very relevant to middle schoolers and some of the challenges and issues that we might be facing. But it's also an opportunity to learn some wellness tools. You'll have an independent activity book that you could work on with activities at home. And you'll also have a final project, which is your Big I Am poem, which will be showcased at the end of the summer. We're very excited about those components with issues and choices. The last part about issues and choices is our future success, which will give you the tools needed to prepare for high school and then college. We'll have some career panels. We'll have some workshops where you could start planning out your high school experience and what you need to do to set yourself up for success. So that's future success, which will be on Wednesdays. Activities. We have a lot of fun activities this summer. Some of you have opted into doing live activities. You will be getting all those details in the next week. And then some of us are opting to go into activities that you do independently. So there's a menu of activities in the student website that you could choose what you want to do. It's a little bit of a choose your own adventure, but we have students creating plant journals, flash fiction, paper crafts. There's always a time for you to be busy during the summer and learn something new. Passing the mic back to Sandra.
All right, so for this slide, we just want to make sure that we are having a safe, fun, and learning environment. And so in order to do that, we all need to put our part, right? And so our teachers will be committed to creating a safe learning space for students, and making sure that students feel comfortable sharing, or maybe that day, maybe we're not feeling comfortable sharing, and teachers being able to check in with students about that and having those conversations. Setting clear and high expectations for session norms and behavior. Teachers will also be monitoring Zoom chats, any Google Docs, or any shared documents, right? So teachers will be able to see that, making sure that students are being appropriate with language, images, things like that. Establishing communication practices to maintain a positive engagement and building relationship with the student and with the assistant teachers. So you will see that there will be a teacher and a assistant teacher, so someone who's also helping out during the live class as well. And so making sure that we have those positive relationships between all different parties. And making sure that we are responsible when we are on Zoom, making sure that everyone is respecting each other's space, making sure that everybody is speaking when it's their turn. So teachers will be making sure that those things are created. Also, we'll be practicing restorative practices and guidelines for student interventions and support. So if there's a moment where a teacher or an assistant teacher, or students too, notice that something is going on with another student, we'll definitely have practices to help those individuals be able to check in and talk with them as well. And we think that this is very important, and it's something that we've always practiced in Aim High and still will be doing during our Aim High at Home program. So technology expectations. So we would love for all students to be able, if they're able to be able to have their cameras on during our Zoom live classes. We want to be able to build community, and in order to do that, we want to be able to see you, see your expressions, you know, be able to read your body language, see your excitement, right? And so one way to do that is by having your cameras on. And I know many of you are used to it. Some of you maybe not as much as others, but it's definitely a way to build community for the teacher, the assistant teacher, and the students in that room. Um, we will encourage, if you want to use a virtual background, that's totally okay with us, as long as it's a background that is not too distracting. Also, Aim High at Home will be giving you access to some virtual backgrounds so that you can use those as well, and have those. And if you don't want to use a virtual background, or maybe that's not a capacity that you have, you can always just use your background from your bedroom, from your shared space, wherever you're choosing to set up that environment for yourself. You can also use that one as well. One thing too is that, and I know this because I have little ones, sometimes you have people who come into your space because it's a shared space, and that's totally fine. So I know I've had someone just pop their head in or something like that. And okay, thank you. But also you want to make sure that during this time, students, that you are focused, right? If we have distractions happening around us, it's a distraction and we're not paying attention. So we just want to make sure that during this time, that when you're meeting with your classes, that it's not a time for like you to have a conversation with someone next to you at your home, or things like that. And I know people have pets too, so you just want to make sure that you're in a space, again, that you're able to not have distractions. But also we understand that if you're on a shared space, we know those will happen, and just being respectful, and making sure that that person knows, like, oh, I can't, this person can't check in at that time. So just keeping that in mind. Also, no taking snapshots, screenshots, or any kind of recording without permission in your live classes. We want to respect everybody's privacy. And just like you wouldn't want someone taking a picture of you when you're not aware, we don't want you to do that for someone, to someone else either. You will also have a function in Zoom that says raise your hand, and it's a feature that you can click. So that way, if there's a question you have and you don't want to interrupt the speaker, you can have that feature and the teacher will go ahead and call on you. And always remembering to please join your Zoom class on time. So making sure that you're waking up on time, making sure you have enough time to get ready, eat something, having your device charged, right? Those are important things. So just making sure that you are able to do that, and then know where to go to find your link for your live Zoom class. Student support. So you will always have support for students, daily support. If there's a student that we're feeling is struggling or compromising or isn't holding a classroom norm, then teachers will definitely check in with that student, do a one-on-one check-in with them just to see if there's anything that they need help with. Maybe they're not feeling well that day or something's going on. And teachers will always make sure to check in with those students. There's also weekly support. So if a staff member identifies that there's a repeated pattern of a student behavior, or maybe something like not wanting to share, or not really being as engaging, then that's something we want to make sure we want to be able to reach out to families and talk to families first and get some more information. There will be site admins that will be able to help and support with that as well. We also will have our student support specialists with students. You've always had those on your actual Aim High sites. We'll also have them for our virtual Aim High, so that you can have that check-in with that person, and that person can help you work through any struggles that you're having at that moment. Also, maybe it's something that you want to have with a group check-in as well. So those would be available as well during this summer. Our communication model. So our communication model will be text through talking points. Now, some of you may be familiar with talking points, some of you may not, but talking points is an app, or if you can't download the app, you can still receive it as a actual text, and it's free to families. And so this is one great way that you will be able to communicate with central office and anyone that you need to reach out to in asking any questions, or if you don't receive something. So talking points will do that. It's awesome because it translates into many languages. And so if you text in your native language, it will translate it back in English to the person receiving it. If I text in English, it will text it back to you in your native language. It's a really great tool. If you haven't used it, I'm pretty sure you're gonna really enjoy it. Also, you will be getting emailed a newsletter every week. So I believe it will be Fridays. You will get that every week. And then teachers also will be talking to you and emailing you as well, so that you can have that direct communication with your students, academic teachers as well. And here is a sample of the family newsletter. This newsletter, like I said, will be in different languages, and will be emailed out to families Fridays. And this will be what we will give you, like the weekly update of what's happening for week 1, week 2. As Leticia mentioned earlier, there are different themes for each week. So this will remind you of what the theme is. Our first week 1 theme is going to be all about community, and this will give you all the different things that you will need and information for that upcoming week. So that's what we'll be sending out on Friday, so you can have it for the upcoming week and be ready to start the week with Aim High. Ways that you can stay connected. So we have different social media platforms that we use as well. So here are the different handles for all of those. So you have Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram. So these are 4 different places where you can use and follow Aim High through social media. So there's different platforms for whichever is more convenient for you. And I'm gonna go ahead and pass it back to Leticia.
Thank you, Sandra. So one of the Aim High highlights every summer is bringing our families together for our family events. This summer is not any different. We will also be engaging online with our families. We're offering parent workshops and videos and a speaker series and family challenges and celebrations. You'll find these during in your weekly email. Our workshops will be aligned to how do you support your student in middle school? And then we'll be offering speaker series aligned to our weekly themes. We'll be having a family challenge every week, which is very exciting, where you'll be able to submit pictures, anything you produce. One of our challenges, just to give you an example, will be a cookie night with your family with 5 ingredients. Show us what you produce, and we'll have you submit those, and we'll recognize a family from every region during the week, which is very exciting. And then we'll have our final celebration. A lot of our 8th and 9th graders will be leaving the program and want to make sure that we recognize their hard work and experience. So look out for details on our end of summer celebrations. Meeting your advisor. Our first touch point with our families will be in the next week. You'll receive a time where you will be able to connect with your advisor and meet them. This will also be an opportunity for you to practice logging on, connecting through Zoom, and knowing if you need any additional support. So look out for those details. They'll be emailed to you guys in the next week. We know we gave you a lot of details right now. We know we gave you a lot of information. You will have access to this recording during the summer. If there's ever a time that you have questions, please feel free to review the PowerPoint, and once again, reach out to us through Talking Points. We will be staying on for 30 minutes on this chat eventually, and have a time to connect with you guys. If there is a question you have, feel free to put it in the chat as we are showcasing this, or reach out through email or text. We definitely are excited to be coming together this summer. I want to make sure that you feel prepared. No question is a bad question. And final reminder, we are so excited to be launching Aim High at Home this summer. We'll see you on Monday, the first day of the first week of the 35th summer of Aim High.